Well, our next guest is one of the funniest comedians on the planet.
Whether it's on screen or in books, David Walliams has been delighting audiences of all ages for decades. And now it's our great pleasure to say David is right here in the studio, everybody! David, welcome!
Thank you.
What's your take on grocery prices while we have you?
I thought you were going to say from one cheap fruit to another.
Slightly more expensive.
I think he's done very well at getting people down to his grocery shop, isn't he? And he's a bit rough, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a bit rough.
hats and all.
So, but I couldn't hear him. But I don't like broccoli very much, so I'm not
That's a
buying
shame.
that. No.
Why not? You could saute.
Because it's not. Because I realised when I got older I just didn't have to eat it anymore.
We can now not eat it for 99 cents a kilo.
But I think we should stop talking about him because he's had his bit. He didn't mention me, my show, my books at any point.
No, yes, that's right.
And let's talk about your show. You're touring Australia with two very different shows. Describe them to us.
Well, because I write books, so I've got an audience of kids who like my books. And so I'm doing a show in the evening for the grown-ups, but I thought it'd be nice to do something especially for the kids. So there's family shows during the day. So, for example, in Sydney on Saturday, I've got two kids shows during the day, 11 and 3, and one for the grown-ups in the evening. But I thought it was a good idea because I could see that sort of 8-year-olds in tears being taken out of the evening show. It's too rude. It's too rude. You're going home. And you know, I really love doing shows for families. I've been touring that around the UK for a long time, and it's amazing the energy that you get from kids. And also I just wanted to do something because the kids really know me for that. They don't necessarily know me for TV unless they have very irresponsible parents that have shown them Little Britain.
I'm sure there's a few.
Wild on
yes,
YouTube.
Indeed.
Right.
I think it's very clever, David. I mean, some might say you're burning the candle at both ends, but I reckon you've got the market cornered.
The thing about touring is, the really great part is being on stage. And the bit that's sort of waiting around, sitting in the dressing room, all those things. So I don't have to do that.
No.
Because I am...
There's no time to wait around.
No. And it's just a brilliant opportunity for me to connect with people over the 6 weeks. I'm going also to Tasmania, which I know is part of Australia.
Don't forget that.
And I'm going to... have you ever heard of a country called New Zealand?
No, I haven't actually.
I'm going to...
See them in rugby, but I assume there's some sort of term, so that's why.
Bloody All Blacks.
Is Carl still missing?
He is still missing.
Should we do an appeal?
I know we should actually.
Has anyone seen anybody, a man
He
in
heard-
a bar in Saint-Tropez?
He heard you were coming in the studio and he was very intimidated, so he thought he was going to just, you know, stay away.
He's younger than me.
Only just.
I always saw him as a sort of uncle figure.
I'm going to tell him that when he comes back tomorrow.
We all do.
That's what he wants to hear.
When he made me sit on his knee and gave me a toffee.
Oh, that's a little bit creepy, David.
I'm quite heavy as well. Maybe why he needed some time off.
Have you seen him? Oh no, let's not go there. Anyway, I mean, he's not brave enough to sit here on the couch, but you're brave enough to take questions from your audiences.
Yes, I've got questions. Well, I love the questions from kids because they often insult you accidentally. I remember I got a brilliant letter from a kid. It said, "I'm writing to you because you're my second favourite author." My favourite author is J.K. Rowling, but my teacher said she'd be far too busy to reply, so here I am writing to you. No irony.
No.
And I love that. I love that with kids. And in the grown-up show, I've got questions from some famous people like Russell Crowe has asked a question, Jim Jeffries is asking a question, and also there's a chance for the audience to ask me anything as well. That's part of the show, sort of 10 minutes of the show in the second half. But it's a look over my life, career. Obviously, we get into all the Little Britain, all the characters come fly with me, Britain's Got Talent, and then some other parts of my life too. But it's very much a show. It's not just me, like you guys, just sitting here, gassing on,
Twiddling our thumbs.
talking about fruit for half an hour. It's
Well, you
a
didn't
show.
find that entertaining, that segment? I mean, maybe...
Well, I liked him, but I mean, other than that, I didn't really care that much.
Cheap broccoli.
brutal, isn't he?
Hey,
Where is his shop? In Brisbane?
In Brisbane.
I might
Are
go
you
when I'm
going
going to
there?
Brisbane.
There you go.
we'll line you up. We'll get you a number.
I have to buy broccoli.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk your books because they've been a tremendous success. 1 million copies sold since you first started. Why did you start and where to next?
Well, I started with having a story to tell, which is people often ask, because it's like, if you've got a story to tell and you feel it's something that people are going to connect with and maybe there's something they can take away. And it started with The Boy in the Dress, which was a story about a boy going to school dressed as a girl. I wrote that 15 years ago, and that was a bit more of a hot topic. And it did well, but the main thing is I love doing it.
Yeah.
And so now I think it's 43 books, I think 55 languages, and 60 million copies sold around the world.
Wow, look at them all.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Do you keep track of them all?
It's
probably
quantity over quality.
Okay, all right.
There's a lot
Flood the market.
There's both strategies.
No, it's great. I mean, it's weird. I feel so grateful because I've had these different chapters of my career, you know, so it's great doing sketch comedy, but you're probably not going to end up doing that forever. And then I've had this whole other career as a writer, and then I've had a sort of career as a...
I do have a question about doing it forever, because there is talk of Little Britain coming back. Is that talk true?
Well...
And can 2024 handle Little Britain coming back?
There's some... probably not. There's some Little Britain characters in my show, but me and Matt are working together on a whole brand new show with brand new characters.
Okay.
But at some time, I think we definitely would like to revisit those characters.
Can I suggest a heavily tattooed greengrocer?
Might make an appearance.
Waiting in the dressing room for after the show.
How is that tracking, though? It's something you've been working on for a couple of years already?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we take our time. We want it to be great. We'll be coming back after a long period of time. Come Fly With Me is still incredibly popular with, like, teenagers and stuff. And I think because Little Britain is sketches, they work very well on YouTube, which is what... Have you guys... I mean, you're too young, but you probably have grown-up children, do you?
He's younger than me, actually.
Grandchildren.
Just look old.
Have you got children?
No, I don't.
No. Have you got children? No. Would you like to have children?
Maybe you should leave us to ask the questions.
I mean, we have a couch here. You've just watched a video with a tattooed man with big muscles. You know, if that doesn't get you in the mood.
This is insight into what we're going to get.
You should plug the talk.
Teenagers are watching lots of Little Britain clips and Come Fly With Me as well. And so, yeah, I think the time is right for something new in that. I mean, there's nothing like that anymore, is there, on TV?
No, well, that's true. OK, so teenagers are watching you on YouTube. Children and adults can watch you in person on this tour.
They can. Well, teenagers can come too.
They're at home on the YouTube.
Yeah, so during the day, the David Walliams book show, and in the evening, an audience with David Walliams, featuring tattooed greengrocer who's going to do an erotic dance.
Wow, if that's not a seller,
being covered only by some broccoli.
You heard it here first, everybody. How could you miss a show like
I'd
that?
watch.
We need to get a sponsorship for that. We'll get the
Thank you very
much. All right. We have sadly run out of time, David, but thank you so much
You
for
spent
joining
much
us.
more time talking about vegetables.
It's rubbish, isn't it? We should just start again.
Won't get that anywhere else, I
We'll
promise
start
you.
again.
All right, tickets to an audience with David Walliams and the David Walliams Book Show are available. Head to tegdainty.com for tickets and information.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh, my goodness. Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.